Does
Thank you.
TikTok support? No. Like, thank you.
Thank you.
But why are they trying to take TikTok down? Like I said in the beginning, Mark Zuckerberg is in the pocket of the government, and they're trying to propagize you, and they're trying to tell you
is that a word?
Hi, welcome back to the show. Hi,
Hi,
my name
welcome.
is
Cheers.
Cheers, and your name is Chaz.
Chaz.
Cheers and Chaz. Welcome
Cheers and
back to
Chaz.
Cheers and Chaz. So this is a redo episode.
Yesterday failed.
That light's not bright enough. This is a redo episode. Why is it a redo episode? Why don't you tell everybody why it's a redo?
Because yesterday you forgot to record the audio, no? You forgot to record the audio.
The audio was recorded.
What was not recording then? Something was not recording.
Your attitude was not recording.
Yes, my attitude was not recording, but something else was also not recording.
The screen didn't record,
The
and we
screen
watched
did
like
not
4
record.
million videos,
Yes.
so now here we are.
And honestly, I think it's better this way because yesterday was
You
really
know
tough.
what? Not every single one is a hit.
No.
Not every episode is going to work out.
You know, we're humans and things happen.
Unlike Mark Zuckerberg,
Who's not a human.
who is a lizard robot.
Very creepy.
Would he be half lizard, half robot? Like which half would be robot and which half would be lizard?
Maybe he's just full robot,
No lizard?
controlled by the lizards.
Ah, there we go. Like
That's
a drone?
that's probably how that works.
Like a drone or like an old school fighting game with like a knob and some buttons? How does that work?
Like a drone, I feel, because it's a bit more like niche
Sophisticated.
than that.
Yeah.
I think Biden is more like an old school video game.
Controlled by a 7-year-old child.
Yes.
Like every
Let's
time
do
he has
this
to
now.
every time he has to give a speech, it's like, okay, walk up to the podium. Fuck. No,
Yeah,
it's going the wrong way. Shit. How does this work? How do you get him back on track?
I love that. That's
And then
so
it's like
funny.
press to start audio and you gotta like start typing the
Imagine.
words.
And
you don't really know how to
you
type.
misspell typo.
So you're like, and this is going to be the greatest clip of that
And
we've ever seen.
And then your mom comes into the room and you want to say something to her, but you end up like typing it instead, you know, when you write an essay.
And that's why back when I
jumbled.
was 25, we were talking about potato hairs. And anyway, so
exactly.
Jason, would you like some potatoes for breakfast?
Yes.
And that's why back in the day we were talking about potatoes.
Exactly.
And
That's
the whole
what
crowd
that
is like, what the fuck is going on here?
what's going on?
Yeah.
Oh my
That's
god.
what's happening.
That's very
Well,
funny.
Biden wants to initiate World War III.
Yeah. Why? Why?
China was speaking to Putin. So Xi Jinping was speaking to Putin like 2 days ago, and he was saying, let's create a peace treaty, sign it, and get this over and done with.
Yeah.
Russia was like, okay, fine.
Why? If we have to.
And then America was like, no, because we're going to send 300,000 troops to the border of Russia. Russia.
Rushing to Russia.
It's like rush hour, but also the place.
Really quick. Russia.
Rushing to the Russia. I'm smart.
Rushing to the Russia. Yeah.
So America is getting in the way of peace?
America is being a dickhead.
They don't want peace?
They want war.
You can't swear in the first 5 minutes of the show.
But dickhead is not.
Dick
swearing.
is?
A dick is just a male body part.
No,
Let's
it's
go
a
into
name of a person.
masculinity.
No, let's
Shall
not. I'll kill you.
Shall we
We've done
today?
14 episodes on masculinity.
I think we need to touch upon it today again.
No.
Don't you think?
We don't need to touch any dicks today.
Oh, really? Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's like childish, right? It's like they did this to us, so now we're gonna get them back.
What did they do to you?
Nothing, but they're just like looking for a fight, an
Why?
excuse to fight Russia because Russia is mean.
Nope.
We don't like Russia.
Economic war.
I know, but
Who has the resources? Who has the money? Who controls the gas and the oil? That's all it is.
Yeah.
And that's why they don't want to support peace, and that's why they allow everything to happen in Libya and all those other places, man.
Yeah, it's a nightmare.
And I honestly don't understand how you don't see this, because like we get a lot of hate for being. You know what's crazy?
Tell me.
10 years ago, being woke meant having broader opinions that were not limited by transgender, gay
Yeah.
rights, abortion, all these like heavy issues, right? You were
Yeah.
woke, and you were a woke warrior, right? And it was actually a good thing to be woke, and a lot of people were leaning left. Now it's weird.
Isn't it like a black term though? Woke. That's what I heard. Like
think
that
so.
we like made it into something else. Because
Not
that's
so
what we
much.
like to do.
Yeah.
It's really
Anyway,
annoying.
so yeah, I think, and then after that, woke turned into the opposite thing. Like now woke is like being not so ultra blue-haired liberal.
But you know what's funny? Because our side,
Which side is that? You
Well,
can't
I
say
don't
our
know.
side. You have to say on one side.
on one side, I guess, on one side, if you're sleeping, you're woke, right? Because it's, you know what I
Camera angle
mean?
sucks.
If you're sleeping, you're a sheep because you're not you haven't woken up to what is actually going on.
Yes, but that's
But
what I'm
then
saying. Now
the
that's what
woke-
woke means. So woke used to mean like if you're a tinfoil hat wearing crazy person that doesn't believe in this and doesn't believe in that, you were unwoke and you needed to wake the fuck up because the world's changing. Now the pendulum is swung so far in the other direction that now people are like, no.
But that's the weird thing because you're still woke if you're like a ultra liberal, then you're woke.
I'm gonna coin a new term, and this is how this podcast is gonna get famous. Folk. Fake woke. Folk. You're false woke. Think about it. You think that you're woke. You think you're fighting the good fight. You think that you understand what's going on, but you don't.
Yeah.
Folk.
Folk, nice.
Yeah, you folk. Little bloke. Take a choke of my smoke. It's a joke. You're not woke. Here's another smoke joke that I have for you, little bloke.
I think you should write that song.
I'm the next Eminem.
Yeah, you are, for sure.
100%. Did you see what I just did
we're
there?
actually Eminem.
Okay, well, nobody actually knows what that means, and now they think that you're just dyslexic.
I'm sure
Got
they
a couple
think
of
that
videos that we were watching yesterday. You want to dive back
Yes, I
into
think
those, or
we
you just
should.
want to
Is the
ignore?
screen recording on?
Yes.
Are you sure? Do you
Don't
want to double check that?
Mansplain and patronize me, you folk sheep.
I'm not a folk sheep, you folk bloke.
Okay, we're gonna have a little segment called "My Embarrassing Past." So when I first started getting into music,
Do people know you're in music?
well, they do now.
Yeah.
When I first started getting into, well, how do you think this show runs? Anyway, when I first started getting into music, I wrote a song, and it was really funny because I was in South Africa and I was talking to South African guys, and the thing is that they also live in a little bubble.
Of course.
No matter where you are, you
Yeah,
live
you're
in
in
your
a
own
bubble.
little bubble. Like in Australia, you live in a bubble. In South Africa, you live in a bubble. And everywhere in North Korea, you live in a very big bubble.
Oh, yes.
But what I'm trying to say, or is it a little bubble? What I'm trying to say is,
It's a bubble. Yes. What are you trying to say?
so in South Africa, we use certain words. Bloke is the word that you use for a guy, like a dude,
Yeah,
a
but
bro.
you do that in the UK too.
Okay, well then there you go.
Yeah.
And then I tried to rhyme smoke with bloke and artichoke.
I love how you said bloke.
And artichoke, and I thought it was so cool. And there was other
What
guys.
was the lyric?
And this is proof that you should be careful of who you surround yourself around, because there were people telling me that it was good. When looking back on it now, it's like, you are not friends because you should have told me that was not good.
What was the lyric?
I don't know. Take a something smoke of a bloke artichoke, and we were thinking of like in a music video you could have like an artichoke wearing sunglasses smoking, and that would be like the coolest thing. And what I'm trying to say is this:
If you're being funny, yes.
when you're young, you're quite impressionable,
Yeah.
and it's very easy to be influenced into thinking something's cool when it's not. And there's nothing cool about that.
An artichoke with sunglasses,
Yeah,
smoking.
there's nothing cool about that.
No?
It's cringy. So surround yourself by the right people, because if you don't surround, do you have any stories like that? Or you're like, you were convinced or you thought something was so cool, and now that you're older, you're like, what was I doing?
Well, I mean, but I don't know if it was influenced. I may have seen it somewhere, but there was a phase I was going through when I was 12 where I wanted to like express myself, but I was too scared to do it like going to school. So what I would do, I would go to my room, and at night I would put in big hoop earrings and a side ponytail, and that's how it'd go.
The side ponytail.
like this, like side.
Mila, shut the fuck up! No. Anyway,
A side ponytail like this, and then I'd put my big pink hoop earrings, and I'd just walk around the house like that in the evening.
And your parents?
I'm sure they were just like, this is cute.
Just watching TV and they're just like...
I'm sure. I should ask them actually if they remember me doing that. No. Just let her do her thing. That's probably what they're like. I was a teenager.
Take her
for
back
sure.
to the adoption agency. Could you guys not?
But yeah.
Please? Thank you.
I think that's like, that's one of those things.
Oh, so this is what the top...
And another thing. I met a girl.
Ira met
a girl who was like getting all the attention from the guys, and what she told me to do, which is really not okay actually when you're like 13 or 14 years old. Well, maybe now it's like normal. She was like, yeah, you just gotta wear a thong.
Rim job, huh?
Thong under your skirt. So I decided to start wearing thongs under my skirt.
Who bought you a freaking thong at 13?
I secretly did it in Woolworths with a gift card that I had. Anlot was with me.
Who sold it to you?
Just anyone.
Were you scared to buy it?
I went into Woolworths with Anlot, and we went to go. Anlot's my sister, and we went to go get this thong.
How old is your sister at the time? 10?
No, she was like 12, I think. And she had it had a little frog on the front. I remember this thong so clearly.
This is giving me like weird.
And
like,
it had like, please don't bug me,
pedo
baby. I was
vibes.
13, 14.
I know, but the thing is, like, it's funny, but at the same time, I don't want to hear a story about a 13-year-old buying frog thong and.
And then I secretly was washing them because I didn't want my mom to see that I bought thongs. And then my mom came up to me and she was like, honey, if you want to buy like G-strings,
No.
I can just go get you some, you know?
It's so bad when you get caught by the parent. You're like, no, please wait, I didn't. It was
she's
not.
like,
I can't explain.
She was like, I can just go buy you some, you know? That's what she said to me. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had the same thing with FHM.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember I was in Serbia and we were
Did
kids.
your mom also say, I can just buy you some?
No. No. Yeah. No mother should be buying porn magazines for their child.
No.
No, I was in Serbia and I was with a bunch of friends and we were also like 12-ish and we had a little bit of cash.
Mm-hmm.
And then they dared me, like we were trying to get our hands on the fucking magazine, bro.
Yeah.
And we were so scared. Like it's so funny when you're a guy, you all pretend to be so tough and like badass, but then it's like, no, you go do it. So then I went up to the thing and I purchased it and I was so scared and the guy selling it to me like at a tiny little kiosk on the street was like smiling like, okay, yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
You know?
That's funny.
Yeah. Anyway, so this episode is going to be about the... Stop it!
The dogs are on a rampage today.
Yeah.
My fault. Hey.
Am I going to get cancelled for...
Oh, he's going to... Yeah.
Hey!
Look at them.
Anyway, so this episode is going to be about the congressional hearing between... Shou Chu.
I know, because it was
I'm
Chu.
going to show Chu a couple of videos.
It's so lame.
Anyway, so there was a congressional hearing between TikTok and Shou Chu, which is the CEO of
TikTok.
The TikTok app, as the boomers call it. TikTok.
Do they call it TikTok?
They call it TikTok.
Why?
Because they're stupid and old and out of date. And then you take these stupid, out of date old people and then you question them. No, you have them question the CEO of one of the biggest digital apps in the world, right? Digital, like, social media apps in the world.
Yeah.
And basically, this is how it goes.
Tell me.
Oh, great. All of these
How
videos
does
are
it
playing.
go? How does it go? Well, get the right video up.
Well,
now...
hey.
Oh, but I already watched this yesterday.
Hey, you, I could be your girlfriend.
What is
no
this
way,
one?
No way. Na,
I haven't seen this one.
Well, I haven't seen this one. I've seen it. So this is what happens. This is what happens when you take old, stupid people.
Yes.
And you have them question somebody.
Yes.
In the social media digital space.
Yes.
That actually knows what they're talking about.
Yes.
And.
Yes.
These old people don't even know what they're saying because they were told to say it by somebody else.
Yes.
And we'll get into that in a moment. But basically what I'm going to say, Zuckerberg
is an alien run by lizards.
No.
Robot.
Yes, but Zuckerberg, in coordination with the US government, is trying to ban TikTok because they're removing the ad revenue from other platforms.
Yes.
And allowing the it's allowing the freedom of information and free speech, which is dangerous because of the propaganda that the New World Order is trying to push on people. So it's difficult to propagandize people if you have an app that allows people to see what other people are doing.
What's actually going on.
Because they pretended to set off a bomb in Ukraine and blow up a bridge, and then the next day a Ukrainian person walked down the bridge, took a TikTok of it, and it was perfectly fine. So they're trying to brainwash you. They're trying to brainwash you, and they're trying to remove the one app that you have that cannot be censored. Keep in mind, Instagram, Facebook, Meta, and WhatsApp, and all of these other things are indoctrinated. They're venomous. They've been infected.
They are. They're so censored.
The only thing that isn't infected anymore is Twitter.
And TikTok.
And now we have the Twitter files by Elon Musk releasing all of the collusion between even as high up as the FBI and the CIA working to push Joe Biden into office.
Yes.
And telling the other apps and social media platforms to remove specific content that favors Trump and then puts Trump down and favors Biden.
Yeah.
So it's all fucked up. Anyway, long story short, TikTok congressional hearing. This is how it goes when you have old people ask a smart person questions.
Please, I want to see it now. Oh,
I liked
you just liked it. Give it a little heart.
Yeah.
Go.
Wait.
Go. Come on, man. You need to be a little bit more prepared for this.
TikTok app on my phone, and my phone is on my home Wi-Fi network. Does TikTok access that network?
It will have to access the network to get connections to the internet, if that's the question.
Does it have access to my...
Yeah.
If you want... Yes. If
Please.
100% certainty that TikTok does not use the phone's camera to determine whether the content that elicits a pupil dilation should be amplified by the algorithm?
Again, we do not collect body, face, or voice data to identify our users.
I find that hard to believe. It's our understanding that they're looking at the eyes. How do you determine what age they are then?
What?
It is my understanding that you're looking on the... How do you understand what age they are then? And then you know what his response to that is, because the video cut off. He said, well, like most social media apps, we use age gating. And he's like, huh? And he's like, age gating. It's when you ask a user how old they are, and then that blah, blah, blah. But also we have a manual team that goes in and checks if people are posting videos and they're too young, and we have them banned.
Yeah, it's funny, huh? But look at all the people asking questions. They're like ultra white.
Ultra white, propaganda fucking ridden, old boomer, unfucking understand. Congress! That's people who make rules. Get a bunch of 14-year-olds together and be like, okay, so the bit rate for the depth of the frequency
and they will be like, okay.
Anyway, continuing.
What age they are then?
When am I going to get paid for the data you're getting from my children, my grandchildren, my neighbors?
Platform for good. Just yes or no?
I believe yes.
Hold on. This dude that just spoke.
Well, what?
I have a very serious question about this guy right here. So look at him. How much do you want to bet me? Like everybody watching this right now, you know this as well. I know this as well. We all have parents that we have to FaceTime and show them where the volume button is on the fucking TV remote. How many times does this fucking dude call his child or his grandchild and be like, I don't know how to put the TV on. It doesn't turn into into Bush right there, Bill Clinton. I don't know how to put the TV on. Can you help me out here? What is an app?
What is an app?
What app?
That's like your mom.
WhatsApp. Yeah, but what app is that? No, it's messaging. It's go where I messaged you. Yeah, but I'm looking at it. It's like, no, but are you looking at WhatsApp? Like, what is the app? You speak my language, youngster.
Oh, these poor people don't even know what they're talking about.
And they make the rules.
Yeah, please.
As if.
Neighbors.
My neighbors.
Just yes or no?
I believe yes.
Okay.
Listen to this.
Platform for good. Just yes or no?
I believe yes.
Did you see his face go?
TikTok support genocide. Does TikTok?
No.
No.
Thank you.
But hearing.
Does
Thank you.
TikTok support genocide? No. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone affiliated with the Chinese Communist Party discuss this hearing with you or anyone else on TikTok senior management?
It gets its way. TikTok's time is up.
That's funny.
So that's basically how it went. They shut him down. They didn't allow him to speak. They asked him the most rudimentary questions in the world. And on top of all of that, TikTok is the only app that's actually like leading the fight in transparency and security and protection.
Yeah.
If you look at Facebook, like they've also had a congressional hearing where they've committed so many more offenses and so many more people have been negatively affected by Ben Affleck, Facebook.
Yeah.
But why are they trying to take TikTok down? Like I said in the beginning, because they're trying to. Mark Zuckerberg is in the pocket of the government, and they're trying to propagize you, and they're trying to tell you
is that a word?
It is now.
Is it?
And they're trying to tell you that what you can't do and can't see, and what you can't say and what you can't do, and all that stuff. And they're trying to control you. And we need to storm the Capitol.
We're not even in the U.S., man.
Oh,
we
sorry.
can't even go there yet.
Anyway.
We can't storm the Capitol. What do we do?
Boycott Meta.
Yeah. True.
If they ban TikTok, boycott Meta.
I agree.
Because that's where it's coming from.
Yeah,
it's coming
it's
from
true.
Mr. Zuck.
He sucks.
Mr. Berg. I need a new co-host. He sucks. That's what you add? That's what you add? That's what you have to add? He sucks.
He sucks.
Get it? With a Z?
It's a hard zuck.
Oh, check this one out. Check this one out. This one's also really funny.
What a lie.
Square, yes or no?
Wait.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
What about the massacre in Tiananmen Square, yes or no?
What?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
The massacre in Tiananmen Square.
That kind of content is available on our platform. You can go and search it.
I will remind you that making false or misleading statements to Congress is a federal crime.
I understand. Again, if
Okay,
you go on our
thank you.
platform, you
Next
will find that
question.
content.
Okay, so she's
whoa,
asking
what?
him. She's asking him if TikTok censors specific content in a bid for TikTok to influence people, like to push propaganda, right, or to suppress information. He's basically saying, no, you can search for it, you can find it.
Yeah.
Now he's shooting everybody down. He's basically like full house. He's winning every question that he gets, right? And this bitch, after she asks the next question, she understands that she's losing.
Yeah.
Embarrassingly.
Yeah.
And then watch her attention revert to something that was pre-written by somebody else
yeah,
for
you told
her.
me about
Watch
this.
this.
Thank you. Reclaim.
Oh, damn it.
Oh, what is this?
They cut it off. I thought this is proof.
Oh.
Great. Anyway. Damn it. So she looks down and then she turns into Joe Biden. She is like, this was written for me and
Can
I
you
feel
find
like
it? Do you not have it somewhere?
I could, but then it's going to take too
it's
long
like
and you're going
a
to
whole-
judge me for not being more prepared.
Yeah, you need to be more prepared for your show. Okay?
Anyway.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Why do you have Elon Musk on your computer?
Well, because it leaks into, like, TikTok is China, right? And then China is Putin, and then Putin is Ukraine, and then Ukraine is everything else that encompasses.
Okay, so where does Elon Musk?
Well, I prepared some other stuff. So over here, there was an arrest warrant put out for Vladimir Putin by the ICC, the International Court of Cocksuckers. That's what that stands for.
Great.
Right? Arrest him! That's
Is
what
that how you suck a cock?
That's how I suck cock, yes. That's how I suck cock. I keep it away from my face and I make a lot of noises. I don't want to touch it.
Oh my god.
Because I'm not gay.
So then what do you do?
I don't touch it. I just go next to it like this. Every once in a while my nose grazes it. I'm like, oh god, I have to get an exorcism now because Jesus is not going to be happy with me for touching another man's penis with my nose. Anyway, so arrest warrant for Vladimir Putin.
Oh, there's a dog.
And now everybody on TikTok is like, who's going to have the balls to arrest this dude, right?
Yeah, nobody.
No one. So here is what I think president of Nigeria or Ghana or not sure.
Is it?
But this is what this dude had to say.
I like
Putin is welcomed here. And no one is going to arrest Putin. If needs be, we'll go and fetch Putin from the airport.
We'll go get
to
him.
his meeting. He will finish all his meetings. We'll take him back to the airport.
Airport. I love
We're
the
not going
accent.
to be told by these hypocrites of the International Criminal Court who know the real violators of human
I
rights
agree with
who
him.
know
The real
the
ones, not the fake
murderers
ones.
of this world.
Murderers.
That former
Murderers.
premier, prime minister
Trudeau.
of Tony Blair admitted
Is it Tony
that
Blair?
they made a horrible mistake when it comes to Saddam Hussein. They've not been charged today.
No.
Bush is still there. They've not been charged till to date.
Tell him.
You tell him.
And then Obama killed Gaddafi.
Tell him.
And then nothing has happened.
Nothing has happened.
We're here today with Libya being destroyed and unable to recover
Unable to recover.
because of America.
I love that accent.
We know very well that where NATO gets involved,
Yeah, it's so true.
those are terrorists. We know very well where the U.S. says we're going in to install peace.
They don't.
That place will never know peace as
Yeah.
long as America has visited that
Yeah.
place. So we don't want ICC's hypocrisy to apply here in our country.
Something else that we added on the previous episode. The ICC, the International Court of Cocksuckers, is basically just the West.
Yeah. it
And
is.
because this is a West versus
so
East
it's not an
thing,
international.
no, it's not actually international. It's like we are the international. No, it's just like 5 dudes on
Yeah.
one side of the building, like as if,
Yeah.
which is hilarious because
And who votes on these things? Like who?
the same people that are sucking each other off in the background.
Okay.
Just France is sucking off Canada, Canada is sucking off the US, everybody's sucking each other off. And then they're like, we should and then they're like, yeah, we all vote for that. And it's just funny because then like a few days later, Putin's, or rather should I say Russia's, I think like general of the military or something,
Yeah.
came out with an official address and he was like, okay, so basically
Anybody attempts.
attempts to arrest Putin, that's an act of war, we're going to bomb the
that's
shit
it.
out of you.
Yeah, that's it.
And I say flip the coin, become devil's advocate. When you hear something like that, be like, well, what if everybody in the East
Yeah.
was like,
Let's
if
get Biden.
arrest Biden and throw him in jail, like,
Yeah.
wouldn't the West be like, if you touch him, then we'll bomb you?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. All I'm saying is this. This dude made a lot of good points.
Yeah, I did.
America does not install peace.
Nope.
They harvest resources.
Yep.
And
Because give a little background, because you're half Serbian.
Serbia.
Serbia.
Yes.
Like, you know very well how that goes.
Well, actually,
Yeah.
that's a good point to bring up. So
Yeah. So, like,
Serbian
look.
/ Eastern people,
Yeah.
we come from a long line of war and oppression and communism
Yeah.
and all of this bullshit that doesn't work, corrupt governments and evil people and brutality, genocide. We come from a long line of
yes.
that. And here's the thing, we can see it coming from a mile away.
Yeah.
So
oh
we
my
don't.
God. Wasn't that video that you showed me as well?
Which one?
That was like calling Trudeau out. And he was also Eastern Europe. He was Romanian. And he was like, I don't know if you guys are seeing this, but this is fascist.
Oh, so yeah, there was a Romanian
Yeah.
guy reacting to a speech that Justin Trudeau was giving
Yeah.
about how they can freeze your bank accounts if you speak against them, and how if you don't support Ukraine or if you have an opposing idea to the war, then you're basically a terrorist and you shouldn't be a Canadian. And then this Romanian guy was like, yeah, this sounds a lot like the place that I just ran away from because
Yeah.
of the communist dictatorship and the oppression. Like, nice one, the West. Like, congrats.
Yeah, what
like,
are you guys doing?
you guys are clapping for a Nazi.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's the point.
Yeah.
We come from it.
Yeah.
Like, not just like 400 years ago, like just like now.
Yeah.
We're still like dealing with the repercussions of that. So when we see somebody like a Trudeau or somebody like a Biden or somebody like a Boris Johnson or Angela Merkel, we see any of these people, right? We see through their fascist
Yeah,
lies.
but don't they look like little snakes as well?
Yes, they do.
None of them look like they should be running anything.
No. Like if I showed you a picture of Nancy Pelosi and her husband, which I hope he's recovering well because that's not fun.
No.
But if I showed you a picture of them and I was like, do you think that these people are like
Nice.
stealing money from the
Yeah.
government? You'd be like, yes.
Oh, for sure.
You'd profile them instantly.
They look like the evil. All of these people look like the evil people in Harry Potter. The cat lady. What's her name?
Yes.
Right? They all remind me of that energy.
I will have order.
Exactly. exactly. That's what the type of people we're dealing with.
Yeah, and then they just suck each other off in the background of Hogwarts. Just Wingardium Leviosa. Do you think you could use that spell on your dick? If you like suffer from erectile dysfunction, right? Like you can't get your dick hard. What spell would you use to get it hard?
Erecto. And then this is just the movement.
Get up there. Get up there and stay
Get like
there.
a string.
Can't you? Isn't there like a spell called Stiffindo?
Stiffen.
Stiffen it. Oh my god. Stiff it up.
Wait, didn't they paralyze the cat? Stiffens up.
Yeah, but that. What spell was that? That was
Stupefy. No?
Stupefy. But that's a different. No, they cursed
Am
the
I right?
cat. Stupefy is different, but Stupefy stupefies them. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stupefy.
Oh, it's Defindo that I'm thinking about.
Defindo. Anyways.
Anyway.
Back to the point.
Back to cocksuckers in the UK. So yes, to answer your question, yes, we see it coming from a mile away, and that's why we don't support it. And that's why this guy right here makes a good point, because America and the West, right? Now we're talking about everybody in the West. So we're talking about everybody from the UK to Switzerland to Norway to America, all of those woke, liberal, blue cocksuckers, right? They preach climate change.
Yeah.
They preach world hunger.
Yeah.
They preach sustainability. They preach environmentalism. They preach the reduction of factory farming. They preach all of these things that sound good on paper, which brings us back to being a folk warrior.
Yeah.
You think, no, think about it.
Really going for it.
No, think about it. You're 25. You're around the age of 25, and you just come out of university, and you think that it's good to stop factory farming because of the mistreatment of animals. Fair point. Yeah. You also think that it's good for transgenders to be involved in every aspect of life because it's a human being and they should be included. Fair point.
Yeah.
You think that being vegan is either healthier or more sustainable for the environment. Fair point. You think that driving an electric car equals less emissions, and you think that recycling, and I understand that you think that you're doing the right thing and you're fighting the good fight, but you have to go deeper into the article than just the headline.
Yeah.
You got to understand why they're doing it, who's profiting from it, how it actually affects the world. Like, for example, there's people in the car industry that say, I drive an electric car because it's more sustainable. And this is before Tesla existed. Now and back then, there were like any moron that thinks it's more sustainable to mine the nickel from, I think, Congo, right?
Yeah.
The copper or the nickel from Congo, and then ship it over to China where it's produced, and then ship it back over here, and then ship it over there. You got to ship it to 8 different places before you put a battery together.
Yeah.
And then you put it into the car. And if you calculate all the emissions and all of the shit that goes into just creating one of those batteries, it's like 10 times the amount of a gas-guzzling diesel truck.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of stupidity there. But I understand that you think you're fighting the good fight, right? My point is this. You have to go further than the headline.
Yeah.
Right? The headline is, in this instance, Ukraine needs democracy.
Yeah.
And they are the little man being stepped on by the big man.
Yeah.
If you go further into that, there's so many things.
Yeah.
There's the creation of NATO, why NATO was created, who NATO is built up of. NATO did not allow Russia to join because they only wanted one global superpower. NATO and America have multiple occasions forced Ukraine out of peace talks with Russia. NATO is the one funding it. NATO is also the one profiting from it.
Yeah.
NATO is very corrupt. NATO has now become an offensive weapon versus a defensive shield.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
For sure. Yeah, I understand.
So if you look deeper than just the surface level of, well, war is bad and we should be helping the little guy.
Yeah, but I mean, they're inducing the war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have to ask yourself why.
Yeah.
And then you have to cross-check. You have to correlate. You have to say, well, why is there all of a sudden a financial crisis on the brink of collapse? Like, where does that come from? What is American finance or American economy built on? It's built on debt. What is debt? How does a bank work? And then you start seeing that everybody's broke. And then you start seeing that there's an incentive to bomb a pipeline and to create a new pipeline in Alaska and supply the rest of the world with oil. And then you see and you see and you see and you see. And then you look at what's happening in the East. This is what this guy is saying. He's saying those are the real murderers.
Yeah.
And they bail each other out all the time.
Yeah, always.
There's no accountability.
No.
There's no such thing as an international
No.
court of cocksuckers. Well, there is, because they all just help each other out.
Yeah, but they don't. It's not a national. It's not an international thing.
What he's saying,
it's a Western thing.
what India is saying, China is saying, Russia
Yeah.
is saying, Africa, Saudi Arabia, what all of these places are saying
Yeah.
is nobody's going to help us.
No.
They're actually just going to continue to strip us of what we have
Yeah.
and push our faces in the dirt. And it's about time that we stand together and we fight back.
Yeah, but that's the problem. Nobody, because they're so brainwashed. Like the large amount of population is so like on that side because they just can't see further than
the
their
headline.
Yeah.
That's the problem. So that's what this guy is trying to say. And now think about it. Name one place that America or NATO has gone to and successfully bought peace and is now better off because of it.
Well, you never went into the Serbia thing because what happened there, right? NATO bombed Serbia.
Yeah, but you have to ask yourself why.
Yeah, exactly. So explain what happened.
Let me get a definition up here.
Of what? A definition of what?
No, because it's a pretty...
of what happened.
It's a pretty serious topic.
Yeah,
and you need to get a better answer.
Yeah. I don't know if you know the whole story.
Yeah, but I know listen, I'm smart enough to know that when you listen to history...
Yeah, it's always
and it comes from
biased.
the mouth of a...
Serbian.
It comes from the mouth of a... When you support your country, a patriot.
Yeah.
It's always going to be a little bit flawed.
Yeah, of
so let's just get some facts going here.
Okay.
NATO carried out an aerial bombing campaign against the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia during the Kosovo War. The airstrikes lasted from 24th of March 1999 to the 10th of June 1999. So about 5 months. The bombings continued until the agreement was reached that led to the withdrawal of Yugoslav armed forces from Kosovo and the establishment of the United Nations Interim Administration Mission in Kosovo. A UN peacekeeping mission in Kosovo. The official NATO operation codename was Operation Allied Force, whereas the United States called it Operation Noble Anvil in Yugoslavia, blah, 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 blah. So, they say... Now, I'm going to give you both sides of the argument.
Mm-hmm.
The left side, being the liberal NATO side,
Mm-hmm.
says that we bombed
Mm-hmm.
Serbia
Mm-hmm.
to provide Kosovo
Mm-hmm.
with their independence.
Wasn't that still like signs when we visited
Same
about
thing.
Kosovo?
Yeah, because now there's a internal argument happening again in Serbia, current day, where they're trying to reclaim Kosovo.
Yeah, Serbia is.
Yeah. Now listen, the left's argument is that they bombed it for Kosovo's independence. The right's argument is they bombed it because they became too threatening.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you look at Yugoslavia and you look at the economic growth, the GDP growth, if you look at the exports, if you look at the military power, if you look at just on a map, generally how much land Yugoslavia was built up of.
Mm-hmm. But what is the use of bombing an innocent place then?
Check this out. Look at that. All of that
Is Yugoslavia.
was Yugoslavia. It was one place united.
Yeah.
Okay? And they became extremely...
Can I see it closer? Because Serbia and where is Kosovo then? Oh, there.
Yeah. They're right next to each other.
Montenegro, Macedonia.
So Macedonia, Montenegro to Slovenia,
Bosnia.
Croatia, Zagreb. It's a huge... Look at that.
Yeah.
Like it's quite large, right?
Yeah.
Bigger than Italy, basically. So check this out.
Why is Kosovo so set on like becoming independent?
Well, it's called...
What is that?
It's called... Okay, I forget the name of the CIA operation, but what they do is they go into a place and they assassinate heads of state. They implement... They then install their own officials.
Yeah.
And then they start destroying or destabilizing a country from the inside out.
Yeah.
And that's what happens with... that's just how America does what America does.
Yeah.
They go anywhere. They go to Afghanistan. They go to now Ukraine. And they start doing this so that you have more leverage, right?
Yeah, but yeah.
So here's the thing that you need to think of.
Yeah.
Right? You can decide what you think is correct.
Mm.
But Yugoslavia was extremely powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why Serbians are still very prevalent people to this day.
Yeah.
They're everywhere. And some of the most successful, some of the best scientists. I mean, everybody from Nikola Tesla to Novak Djokovic and everybody in between. There's a lot of pretty legit things coming out of Serbia. And they needed to slow them down. That's what the patriots would say.
Yeah.
But what the West would say is that we were just bringing them independence.
Kosovo, though.
Well, the thing is destabilization.
But that still doesn't answer the question. Like, why would Kosovo so badly want their... what's the reason for that?
I'll ask you the same thing about Ukraine.
Yeah. Why? What is that? Yeah.
So
but Ukraine is an independent country now, is it not? It's not Russia.
It didn't used to be.
No.
It was the same thing as Kosovo and Serbia.
Yeah.
It used to be part of one bigger thing.
Yeah.
And then they fought because with the help of people, and then they separated, but not really. And it was like a lot of political backlash. And I don't think that Russia would, or rather Putin would care this much about Ukraine.
No.
I think he's being threatened, and I think it's more of an economic thing than anything else.
Yeah. Yeah.
However, the point being is that people don't go deeper into the article.
Yeah.
They only read the headline, and then you become a folk warrior. You really think that you're fighting the good fight, but you don't look into it enough.
Yeah.
Right? And that's true for both sides.
Yeah.
You know, there's people that just go like the earth's flat, you don't read about it, and then you can't really make up your mind.
Yeah.
Here's why you asked me about Elon Musk.
Oh,
Elon Musk brought up a very good point quite a long time ago.
Yeah.
During the Russia-Ukraine conflict. And he's a very
in the beginning, like way in the beginning.
Man.
Yeah,
way in the beginning.
Yeah.
And he basically said, there's another longer video that I can show you if you want, but he basically said, actually, you know what? I'll show you this.
Yeah.
Might help you understand.
Their army's not that good. The battalion commanders that the Russians have on the ground in Ukraine today are the finest battalion commanders the world has ever seen. These guys are doing miracles. America's battalion commanders would do well to study what these guys are doing. How you lead from the front, sustain combat operations for 100 days.
Russia.
And you get better, not worse. That's a sign of a professional. The Russians are winning, hands down, and they are going to win, hands down. There's nothing that can happen to stop this. Nothing. But there's a problem. We can make the cost for Russia very high. We make it so high that it actually becomes painful. And if we make it too high, then we have what we call a game-changing moment. And we're on the verge of reaching that. We're providing the Ukrainians with weapons that are not going to change the outcome of the war. The M777A2 with its Excalibur round is not going to change the outcome of the war. Even if they get the Harpoon anti-shipping missile, it's not going to change the outcome of the war. But what it will do is kill Russians. And it will kill Russians in large numbers. And this will make it more difficult for Russia to win its victory in a reasonable time frame. Yeah. It'll drag this conflict out. Now, Russia will win, but the price paid by Russia will be very high, and the price paid by Ukraine will be even higher. And for all the people that say we have the little Ukrainian flag on our thing, we've identified ourselves, go to hell. Because if you care about the Ukrainian people, if you give a damn about humanity, then you'd want this war to be over today. Because all that's going to happen between now and the inevitable termination of this conflict is tens of thousands of Ukrainians are going to die. Ukrainian infrastructure will be destroyed.
Yeah, so stupid. What did it say on his little thing? It said Biden doctrine. What does that mean?
No, I'm just going back to what I was saying.
Yeah.
That's what Elon Musk tweeted. Now, he tweeted this way before I just showed you that speech.
Yeah, that video.
Let's see here. I had it, but it disappeared.
Yeah, well, can you find it?
Sure I can.
But it basically said, right, that, what did it say again? I don't know how he worded it, though. Just
basically what Elon Musk said, and you can find the tweet. I can't find it right now.
Yeah.
He basically said that you should end the war because there's a resolution, and wasting time from now to the resolution
it's useless.
Is useless. People are going to die. And everybody basically tried to cancel him, saying, oh, you're anti-Ukraine. How dare you, Elon? How dare you?
Yeah.
And again, those are the folk warriors. that come after him. But he's an intelligent man.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't just discount what he's saying because it doesn't match your beliefs. Think about what he's saying. If it's 1 year or 10 years, there's a point where you're going to see that this is done.
Yeah.
Whatever the outcome is, let's say Russia wins or Ukraine wins or there's a peace treaty, nobody wins, or there's a deal, sanctions, whatever it is, right? There's a solution.
Yeah.
And the longer you wait, the more brothers and sisters and children and fathers die on both sides.
Yeah. 100%.
You can't just say, fuck Russians. They're human beings.
Yeah, exactly.
With families and children.
They didn't ask for this. Like,
no. They were born in a shit situation,
Yeah.
growing up around the rubble of American bombs,
Yeah.
with no money, no prospects, no ability to make money or have a life. So they joined the military to sustain their family and also to support their growing country because they're patriots and they want to support where they come from. They want to help people in their community.
How many more people would
That is a
their
great
country-
human being.
Yeah, exactly.
No one that I know is brave enough to sign up for that type of life and commit their life and possibly their death to the support of a better tomorrow.
Yeah.
Those are the people dying on both sides.
Yeah.
Don't talk about the generals.
Why?
Don't talk about the politicians. Don't talk about the presidents.
Because they're never in harm's way.
No, those are the ones making decisions. We're talking about innocent civilians. And you
They're
know
just
what?
the minions of
Russians
the-
are probably friends with Ukrainians, like civilians, because
Yeah.
they're human beings.
Well, listen, I was speaking.
So just to finish, that's what Elon Musk said.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And that's why I think that Trump is actually a pretty good person to have in office right now.
Yeah.
Because he can get everybody in a room and he can sign a deal where
This doesn't go to war.
whatever it is,
Yeah.
let's say there's a little bit of economic, it disbenefits the U.S. economically.
Yeah.
Or, the U.S. says, okay, we're not going to be the superpower of the world, but we're going to share the power now.
Yeah.
East and West are going to share, and we're going to be different, but we're going to share. If you're not willing to share, one side has to win, right?
Yeah.
And how is one side going to win? By destroying the other side,
which is
economically or
ridiculous.
physically. So why don't I would say, listen, if I was in a room with the real leaders of the world, I'd say, listen, America and the West have gone pretty far.
Yeah.
We've gone a little bit too far.
Too
I understand that. I acknowledge that. And I apologize. However, moving forward, I think that this is what we should do. We should share. We should sign deals, and we should share the power. And we should coexist peacefully, and stop this rat race for who is the best. And we should just work together. Okay? I understand that America's gone far. Let the past stay in the past. This is a new order. Let's just try work together. If you say anything other than that, we're better than you. We can beat you. You have to bend the knee to us. That is what has pushed all of these countries together.
Yeah.
And that is why those countries are going to win.
Yeah.
They have all the resources.
They do.
They have all the manpower.
They do.
And nukes are not going to fix
And then
anything.
just innocent people are just going to die for what?
And I think that's another reason why they want to take TikTok down.
Yeah.
It allows innocent people to talk to other innocent people
Yeah,
about,
and be like,
we
"Hey."
don't want this.
Yeah.
And potentially allow them to vote.
Which is so stupid. Like, why would you not listen to the people?
Question, if TikTok existed during the invasion of Vietnam, and I call it what it is, invasion of Vietnam,
Yeah.
do you think that war would have ended sooner? If people could have seen what's happening and politically and
Maybe.
could have voted and be like, yo, this is crazy.
Messed up.
But they couldn't. They were just at the heel of the US propaganda machine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fix it.
Yeah.
Fix it. You're not going to win. The West is not going to win. Economically, you cannot win.
And then what?
The East can beat you. It will be a long, hard, fucking difficult, brutal, murderous victory, but they will win.
Yeah.
And both of you will lose if that's the case. So just shake hands and share.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
Just be adults about it. That's literally what it is. Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing. I think nothing. And I feel like it's so easy. I feel like it's so easy to do. And what's the purpose? Just so
If you
that
wanna-
they can gain money?
If you want to throw Putin in prison because he's a war criminal, then you should throw Hillary Clinton in prison as well.
100%.
And you should probably prosecute Obama. You should probably prosecute every single American president.
Yes.
You'd probably prosecute Paris and Germany and
Yes.
England and the royal family. You should prosecute everyone. If you really want to
go that route.
if you don't want to ignore the past and create a new future, everybody's got to go down. Because everybody's committed genocide or slavery or whatever the fuck it is. Like, you're all guilty.
Yeah. All of them.
So you should walk into the room, whether it's Donald Trump or somebody else, sit everybody down and say, listen, it's a very impressive and scary what you guys have managed to do on your own.
Yeah.
You guys are the underdog. China, Russia, Saudi Arabia, Africa, the BRICS nations, right? And we acknowledge why you're doing it. We understand the need for you to do it. And we would like to support you in doing so.
Yeah.
Because if we all thrive, we can all thrive together.
Yeah.
And we should stop this economic conflict.
We should. It's not helping anyone.
No.
No.
Question.
Yes.
Conspiracy. What if they're already all in on it?
What do you mean?
What if every single country and every single world leader is actually in on it? And Russia and Ukraine and America and England and everybody, like, they're all in the same room and they're all actually best friends. And they're actually pretending to have a war because of you need to keep poor people poor and rich people rich in order to have the life that we have. So what if this is all fake because everyone ran out of money? It's impossible to believe, but like, what if?
Yeah. But then what would that do?
Instability.
Yeah, and then?
It would push the divide higher and you'd keep your slaves.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean,
it's possible.
There's slavery in the Congo.
Yeah.
That's where you get the copper and the nickel and shit for your iPhones. Like, you can't have iPhones without slavery.
Yeah.
You can't. So if the whole world actually does rise, does that really affect the people at the top? Or does that benefit them?
How do you mean rise? Like, get better?
Yeah, like, if everybody gets better, like, who's going to be the slave that goes and mines the raw iron or the raw nickel?
Yeah, but would that affect the Congo?
How so?
I don't know. I feel
if they all rose.
Yeah.
If there was a general living standard and there was more medicine and there was more education and there was more money going into for employees.
But how quickly would that happen? That wouldn't happen overnight.
If it did.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's difficult. Like, I know it's a crazy conspiracy to say that everybody's on the same page about everything.
No, yeah.
If they're not, then what are we doing this for?
Yeah, exactly.
What's your goal?
I don't know. Distress.
What's your goal? Like, are you that broke that you have to cause war?
You know, what I find interesting as well, though, Elon Musk is quite, you know where he stands with these things. But he's also quite an influential person.
Mm-hmm.
When they try to silence him then? But they cannot? Or what?
You can't.
How does that work? Yeah.
He owns Twitter. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
How are you going to silence the guy?
Yeah.
Also, Elon Musk is a very intelligent person. He doesn't just say Trump should be president.
Yeah, no.
He doesn't just say that, you should hand over the victory of the war to either side. He says there's a resolution and there's a time in between, and we should find that resolution faster.
There's a Dutch...
How do you disagree with that?
There's a Dutch reporter that you've shown me as well that speaks on Fox News. And apparently she's like speaking out about all these things. And apparently Elon Musk is also a big fan of hers. I don't know her name now, though. But if I find it, I'll let you know. But you've shown me some videos of her as well where she talks about... She was the one with the ID, when she was talking about the ID becoming like a real thing, the digital ID. Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember that video. Yeah.
So apparently she's like blowing up. And because she's also an attractive reporter, which doesn't happen very regularly, a politician. And Elon Musk is apparently also like a big fan and like sharing her stuff. But she's quite outspoken, quite intense.
Well, look, it might sound, if you hear this the wrong way, that I support China or support Russia. Here's the thing. I'm trying to be as objective about this as I can in realizing what's at stake and who's playing which chess move.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, man, digital identification and facial recognition software or these other forms of tracking, it's very dangerous. And we're going to enter a weird dystopian... what's that movie? Blade Runner type existence where you can like walk into a store and like relive memories, or you can like live in a simulation, or AI will run the world, and the government is always watching.
Yeah.
For your safety and the safety of those around you. Make sure that you do that and you report to Block A.
Yeah.
That's what it's becoming.
Yeah.
It's total control.
Creepy. I don't like it.
That's what I think it's becoming. Like, we've all seen those movies.
Yeah. It's creepy. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Elon Musk is scared of. And I think that's what he's trying to warn us of. And that's what he's trying to regulate. And that's what he's trying to also, in a weird way, prevent.
Of course.
Because it can, in the hands of human beings, it can slip out so fast.
Yeah.
Because human beings are the same creatures we were like 3,000 years ago. Same thing. We haven't evolved much.
No.
So, I mean, we can barely be trusted with fire.
Yeah.
We can barely be trusted with a toilet. How many people clog their toilets? How many people poison themselves with food?
Yeah.
I did it. I'm stupid.
Yeah.
I go out in the sun for too long and I get sunburned. We're all stupid as fuck.
Yeah.
So don't be surprised if politics doesn't work out.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised if somebody misses something that they shouldn't have.
Yeah. Because that's
We're so stupid.
Yeah.
We're all so stupid.
Yeah.
We're so stupid that the most infinitesimal version of AI is already outsmarting us.
Yeah.
Fast forward 300 years.
Oh no.
That's how stupid we are. In 300 years, we're going to be the same thing. And in 300 years, everything around us is going to be different.
Yeah.
We're fucked.
But we created that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So doesn't that make us smart also? Like, do you know what I mean? It's a bit like, because we created it.
Smart or capable?
Yeah.
Because we're consciously aware.
Mm-hmm.
That's a different form of intelligence that I don't think can be beaten by anything that we can see right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
I don't think that China should be... Look, communism, the Communist Party in China is so sketchy because you know that, like, if you're a business with over, 5,000 or 50,000 employees, like, the Communist Party automatically gets involved with your business and tells you what to do and what not to do. They run your company for you then.
That's so creepy.
They're involved in anything. However, if you were being oppressed and you looked at China and you were like, yo, we are all poor and broke and dying and sick, a smart man would say, I'm gonna make a plan.
Yeah.
It's gonna take us about 200 years.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not gonna be alive to see it. It's gonna take us about 200 years.
Yeah.
And this is the plan.
What is the plan?
We're gonna start making everything. We're gonna force our own people into sweatshops. We're gonna create a communist party that's going to force people to do what we want, when we want, whether they like it or not.
And then?
Because you need to get everybody on the same page.
Yeah.
You're gonna put everybody on a bus. I don't care who the fuck is at the back or the front. And I don't give a fuck who's crying or not or dying. I don't care. We're going somewhere. It's gonna take us 200 years to get there. And then you start making shit.
Yeah.
That's why 20 years ago, everything was made in China. It broke in a day.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, people realize that the low labor costs in China allows your Nike factories, your Adidas factories, your, consultancy headquarters locations, everything can go there.
Yeah.
Because it's cheap. And they work hard. And they started making good shit.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, they started getting a lot of money. So they started buying everything. They own Africa now.
Yeah.
They practically own Africa. And they are everybody is in so much debt to them. Like, check this out. U.S. debt to China. U.S. is $1 trillion in debt to China. $1 trillion in debt to China. U.S. debt to... Sorry. China, if you look at Africa...
Oh my God.
700 billion. Everybody's in debt to China.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do?
Oh
and then you start buying everything. So you start owning all these raw materials. You own the factories. You own the land. You own the companies. You own everything. And you're still producing and creating and exporting everything.
Yeah.
They make ships. They make iPhones. They make chips. They make clothing. They make resources. They have food. They do whatever. They do it all. All of it comes from China.
Yeah.
The only way you get there is through oppression, communism, and slavery.
Yeah.
You fuck over your own people for about 200 years. And now, You've climbed to the top.
Yeah, but like, what does that do? Also, like, great, your whole country has suffered for 200 years.
I think it's actually quite noble in a weird Thanos logic way. Think of it like this. You see what's going on and you see how like these global superpowers are being formed and how evil they are and how they're going to run the world, and you're going to remain this poverty-stricken piece of shit country for the rest of your existence.
Well, I mean, I don't know if they were that before. How do you know that?
Okay. Then you could say, I'm going to be the one that makes a change. I'm going to be the guy that fights them. It's huge.
Okay.
Did you know that Xi Jinping, the president of China, grew up in one of the most poverty-stricken areas in the world, lost all of his family members, and he looked around him and he saw what was going on. And that's why he's the leader he is today, because he's fighting against that. And he's trying to create a new China.
Yeah.
And in some weird, fucked up Thanos logic, it kind of makes sense. Think about it. Like, everybody that's watched Avengers Endgame, like, it's fucked up to kill half of the universe.
Yeah.
But if that means that the rest of everything gets to survive for the next couple billion years, like, hang on. Hang on.
Yeah. It's a difficult one.
It's a difficult one. It's a moral question. But it's a decision that I think China made.
Yeah.
And it's a decision that's now paying off.
Yeah.
Because you would never have expected China to be where they are now.
No. Well,
100 years ago?
maybe not 100 years ago. But to be fair, I remember already saying as kids, I think China's going to take over the world.
Everybody said that.
Yeah, always.
And people are still saying that. Even
Yeah.
woke liberals
Yeah, of course.
are even saying, like, okay, we don't have to worry about China now, but in the next 50 years, then we can start worrying about it. China is like, no, we're not going to start in 50. We're going to start now.
Yeah, of course.
And that's how
They
you
started
prevent this.
ages ago.
If you want to stop Russia and China and all these different people from taking over the world and being the economic superpower, you got to start now.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you actually got to start 40 years ago.
Yeah.
But you didn't.
No.
You liked your big Slurpees and you liked your big trucks and you liked your freedom and you liked the ability to do whatever the fuck you want, whenever the fuck you want. You started losing power.
Yeah.
So then what did you start doing? You started making threats. You started making bombs. You started using debt. Did you know that Joe Biden has printed $4 trillion since he became president?
Oh my God.
Hence inflation and interest rates. He printed too much money.
Oh my God. This guy. He really needs to be out. He really does.
Yeah. A president is such a weird system.
It is weird.
Why don't you just have like a president of multiple sectors that all report to each other?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, we sort of have that here because there's like a combination of parties that run. You've got a couple of seats in every, but I mean, it still doesn't work.
Yeah. Anyway.
Alrighty. On that bombshell. Woo, the world is great and happiness is everywhere.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens, man.
Yeah.
We will see what happens,
We
and
will
we'll
see
catch
what
you on the
happens,
next one.
Look. Look.
Is Milosh gonna be a gangster now?
A sleeping gangster.
Oh,
He's very cute, isn't he?
he's very cute.
All right, guys. Please don't cancel us.
Ciao.
Ciao.